Hello, folks. Hope you're all doing amazing. I am going to go ahead and just make sure that the live is living. Hope you're all doing great. If you're watching the replay, you can obviously comment down below. Let me know what kind of questions you folks have. But we are going to be getting it going here. There we go. The live is on. Awesome to see you folks. I'm excited to dive into day 3 here of the challenge, which is all about the guide, which is you. You are the guide, okay? And this is such an important, not only post that we're going to be making today, but also such an important concept to be making, okay? Because so many people, when they're growing their business, they end up in what we call the friend zone. The friend zone being you're just a peer, you're not seen as an authority, you're not seen as the guide to help them get to where they want to go. And so that's why it's so important that we actually talk about this today. Now, as we're jumping on, I know a bunch of you are watching like the replays after this. Go ahead and comment down below. Basically, if you have been able to make posts, go ahead and comment down below yes, or if not yet, you can comment down below not yet, okay? And if you're watching the replay, obviously go ahead and comment down below the word replay so that I know you're checking it out and I know that you are following along and I can check up on you. So just to reiterate, the first day we talked about the hero, right? I'll be driving, but I'm here. Good to see you, Megan. Hope you're doing well. So day 1, we talked about the hero, right? Where you're calling forth your ideal clients to be the hero of their own journey. Yesterday, we talked about the villain, right? We talked about the villain, which is the big, bad villain in your ideal client's life that they're struggling to overcome. And today, we're talking about the guide, who is you, okay? The guide is the person who helps the hero along their journey to overcome the villain and to live their dream life. And you need to be positioning yourself as the guide along the way, okay? Now, in a very general sense, and we'll get into today's post here, but in a very general sense, you need to be positioning yourself as the authority, okay? And so there's actually specific content that outside of what I'm going to be giving you today, you should actually be posting every single week to position yourself in this way. And here's why. I've seen a lot of coaches, a lot of entrepreneurs who they do not position themselves as an authority. And you know what happens? People come for them for tips. They come to these people for like more like a peer-to-peer interaction, and they end up in the friend zone. And I can tell you something right now. It is incredibly hard to get people as clients if they think that you're just buddy, okay? That's not going to work well for you. And actually, I mean, in fact, how many of you have felt this? How many of you have felt in the friend zone? If you have, comment down below the word friend, because we do not want to end up in the friend zone. It is so hard to make a sale. People are like, why are you selling to me? Like think of it like this. Think about it like you went to coffee, like a cafe with either your best guy friend, girlfriend, whatever it is. And you're sitting there and you're chatting, and all of a sudden they were like, hey, you should buy my program on da-da-da-da-da. You'd be like, dude, like, don't sell me anything. Like, it feels so off, right? It feels so weird if, like, this friend person was then trying to sell you something, like, out of the blue. And that's how you're going to come across if you don't position yourself as the authority in your social media content, okay? So there's a couple different things that you can do day to day to position yourself the right way. And then I'm going to give you the post today that you can make after this. So the first things that you can do is you can actually what we call create authority content. Okay? This is a specific type of content that puts you at the place of people wanting to look up at you, or they want to respect your opinion or see you as someone who actually knows something better than them. Okay, so it's authority content. A couple good of examples of this could be, you can make a post being like, so many people think that X, Y, and Z is what they should do, when in fact that's the biggest mistake you can make. Now this is a great piece of content because it shows people that you understand the space you're in and you understand that, hey, don't do this, do this, okay? Basically, someone who's leading in their content is either showcasing what you shouldn't do and what you should do, or they're actually telling you how you should do something, but you should do it slightly different than the masses. And this is one of my favorite ways of doing authority content, being like, hey, everyone's telling you to post content consistently. That's great, But here's the truth. If you're not adding in this extra thing every single day, you're not going to get any clients. That's an authority type of content where I'm showing you like, hey, yeah, you're doing the right thing, but you actually need to be doing it a bit differently if you want to be getting the results you're looking for. So that type of authority content. The other thing with authority content, we're going to get into this a little bit today, is story authority content, where you share the story that you went through and all the hard things you had to overcome and how you became the hero of your own journey. That's going to showcase that you're an authority. And then also like testimonial content, social proof content, where you're posting like, hey, we got these people results, these people results. That's showing that you're an authority as well. So you want to make sure that, I often tell people like authority content, you want to be posting at least one of those a week, because you need to keep on helping people understand that you are the guide in the relationship. Now, the second thing that you can do, and then we'll dive into a little bit of the post that you folks can be making today, is you can be showing up as an authority when you're having conversations with people, okay? A lot of you are having conversations with people and it's more like friendly, where it's like, hey, I get to connect with you. Where are you from? Oh, that's awesome. I saw your picture of your dog. So cute. And then they'll ask you questions. And it's just this kind of like tit for tat thing, right? Where it's just like you're kind of going back and forth. That's not how you are an authority in a conversation. The way that you can position yourself as an authority in a conversation, let's say you get a new follower. You can be like, hey, thank you so much for the follow. Do you mind if I ask you some questions to see how I can support you with your health journey or with your time management or with your da-da-da-da-da? You start the conversation by being like, hey, thank you so much for following. Appreciate it. I'd love to like get to know your situation better so I can see how I can help you. It automatically positions you as you're the person helping them, not just a friend-to-friend conversation. So make sure that you're framing your content, your conversations, and then obviously your discovery calls, if you're having discovery calls, as you are there to figure out what's going on so that you can help them, okay? Because if you don't do this, I mean, I made this mistake super early on in my career. I got friend zoned so many times, okay? And it just was not helpful, it was not useful, okay? So that's what you want to make sure that as far as like authority content goes. Now, you are the guide. Okay, these last couple of days you've shared your story, you've gotten like really truthful, transparent, raw with people, you've talked about the biggest villain in their life. Now it's time for you to basically boldly proclaim that you are the guide who can help them, the heroes on the journey, overcome the villain. Okay, so this post is going to be super powerful. Okay, so we want to start this post by making sure that you are being very, very clear, okay? And I don't have my whiteboard with me today, but basically I'm going to give you this line for line, and then you folks can, if you need to watch the replay of it, that's okay. But if you're taking notes, take notes as you are. By the way, folks, who's all jumping on the live here today? I know we have a couple people. If you're watching this live, go ahead and comment down below the word live. I know we've got a bunch of people on here. So here's the post. So you're going to start the post with, I went from X to Y. Basically, I went from struggling with this and this and this to getting this and this and this. Okay? So that's how you're going to start the post. This is going to be a written post with a picture, by the way. And you could start it with something to the effect of like, if I was to create it, I could go like, I went from struggling to get a single online client to building a multi-million, like 7-figure coaching business. Okay? I'm going to start there. Why do I start there? We talked about this before. The authority. You want to share people in the small snapshot. I went from here to here. Start there, okay? And if you got questions, folks, comment them down below. So you start with, I went from here to here. Okay? That's where we start. Then the second part of the caption is going to be, in the last couple days, I shared my story of how I went through the same struggle that a lot of you are going through. I had this pain. I struggled with this was challenging me, and honestly, I didn't know if I was going to be able to figure it out. Okay? So that's the second part. Basically being like, I went through this in the last couple of days, but I went through all that hard stuff. I know you're going through this and this and this and this. And that's going to be the second part of the caption. Now, this is where we want to turn things around. We want to turn things around. So the third part of the caption is going to be you saying, I decided that enough was enough. I changed my habits, my ways, whatever it is, and I worked on things to get this result, not only for myself, but because I wanted to help other people who are going through the exact same things that I went through. Okay, so that's the transition where part 3 of the caption is going to be basically, I went through all this not only to help myself and get these results, but to also help people just like you get these results. Okay? So those are the first 3 parts of the caption. Okay? We got the hook, we got the intro, we got kind of like the main piece of it, and now we're going to go to what we call like the close. So this is where you're going to go into, I'm looking for, and then you insert the type of individual. I'm looking for busy lawyers, or I am looking for busy corporate working women who are wanting to get the same results in their life that I got. They want this and this and this and this, and they're tired of feeling like their life is this and this and this and this. Okay, so basically you're calling them up. This is the 4th part of the caption. You're calling up, I'm looking for this type of person who wants these results that I've done for myself, who is also struggling with the things that I used to struggle with. Okay? So that's the 4th part of the caption. 5th and final, and I'll go through these all once more again because I know that it's a lot to take in. The 5th is the call to action, which is basically, if this is you and you want to hear how my program, you can put the name of your program in this, or how my program can help you get these results, just like I got results for myself, comment this word to get it. Something to that effect. Okay? So those are the 5 different parts of the post. I'll go through them again. The first part is just basically you stating, I went from struggling with this to achieving this. That's the hook. Number 2, you're going to go through in the last couple of days, I know I shared my story of how I went through all of this struggle, and this is all the things that I've gone through. Part number 3 is, like I talked about before, where you're going to be basically, after you go through the first and the second piece, being like, I went through that and got these results so that not only I could get them, but I could help other people get them. Part number 4 is then calling them out. If you're this type of person who's struggling with this, who's wanting these results, this is for you. And then 5th is a call to action. If you want to join my program that helps people like you get these results, that help me get these results, go ahead and comment down below the word program or ready or whatever it is. So that is going to be your post, okay? Now some of you might be like rigorously taking notes. That's okay. I can, if you need help with those 5 sections, I can send them to you afterwards. Send me a message. But that's going to be the post tomorrow. Now, this is a powerful post, and it's a good example of a type of post that you should probably make about once a week, of where you're just naming the people that are struggling. You're naming the goals that they're going after. You're naming who they are and what they need to do in order to get the results they're looking for, which is to comment and apply for your program or whatever it is. So this type of post is a strong call to action post, okay? Now, we often tell people we only want to do about 1 of these types of posts every single week because they're very strong, like, asks, right? Because oftentimes in the content we're giving, right? We're giving value, we're giving education, we're giving freebies, like yesterday we're giving a lot of stuff. This is a very strong ask. Like, if you are this person, this is what I want you to do. And so we don't do it as often as the other posts because it's kind of the whole, we want to give value majority of the time, and then we want to ask for something back minority of the time, okay? So that's the post that you're going to be crafting and creating for tomorrow. Now, I do want to say, a lot of you people, I know have been watching this, you've been making the content, which is awesome. For a lot of you, you're going to realize a couple things. If we're not getting a ton of engagement on these posts, it probably means that our audience growth needs to happen quicker. And I'm not talking about audience growth in this challenge, but I want to give you a couple just pointers. The content you're posting this week, you should be posting content like it every single week. And so this is the start of you doing that. Now, as you grow, you might need to get more followers coming in so that more of them see the content and more of them engage with it and actually comment for the freebies like yesterday or comment for your program. But you need to get in the habit of creating the content no matter what, whether you're following small or very large, okay? So this is the post that you folks are going to be making tomorrow. And every single week, I really want you to think about this. This isn't just like do these 3 types of content like once every couple months. I'm like, every single week, you need to be sharing the story and calling people to be the hero of their own journey. Every single week, you need to be talking about the biggest challenges or the biggest villain in your ideal client's life and how to overcome it. We talked about promoting freebies and like lead magnets yesterday. And every single week, you need to be talking about how your program is good for them, how you are the guide along the journey, right? You have become the person who can help so many people. The reason that Terry and myself can help so many people right now is because we went on the journey ourselves. We've helped so many people go on the journey ourselves. We are now the guide for hundreds and hundreds of coaches because of that. And so that's what this is all about. So this challenge is more than just make these posts. Hopefully you get some clients, which, I mean, every time we run this, people are generating leads, booking calls, etc. But it's also just make sure you're doing this every single week, because this isn't a one and done thing. This is a get good at this skill set and keep going, folks. Okay? So that's the strategy for today. So I want to make sure that you all are going to be posting that tomorrow. Now, I know some of you are like a bit later to post. That's totally fine. I'll make another post tomorrow where you can comment your link to your post so that you can go ahead and like get like other people from within the group liking and engaging on it. And I know some of you haven't been wanting to get other people liking and commenting, which is totally fine. You can just post it on your own as well. It's just there as an extra addition. And so let's go and make this piece of content. If you want me to look over it before you post it, feel free to send me a message and I can look over it. That's no worries at all. So folks, that's exciting stuff. So make sure as you're going through this challenge that you are taking notes on everything, not just for doing the challenge, but also frankly, just for future, how you're going to be building your business, how you're going to be creating content on a daily and weekly basis. So any other questions you have, throw them my way. I'm excited to follow up with you folks and see how these 3 pieces of content did and to figure out if, okay, we need to be growing your audience quicker so that more of your content's getting seen by more people, or even if we need to keep on improving the content itself. And so I'll be checking in with you folks, making sure that things are moving along at a good pace, and I'm excited to see how it goes. So that being said, folks, that's all I have for you today. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'm excited to see your content. So we'll chat with you folks soon. Bye for now, folks.